Good morning. For those that don't know me, I'm Virginia Walton. I'm a personal coach. And prior to starting my coaching practice, I spent 24 years in the banking and finance industry. I worked my way from teller at a small community bank right out of college to senior vice president of a $27 billion bank by the age of 38. Was it networking and fancy degrees and alumni connections that got me there? No. Um, I went to a school that I could afford, and when I finished college at 19, my father was actually the biggest deadbeat dad in the county. So it was hard work, determination, and more missteps than I'd care to admit that got me there. About 10 years ago, maybe more now, I had the opportunity to experiencing leadership development and coaching. I was in my early 30s. It was the lowest form of management. And when my coach saw the results of my 360 survey and heard the Cliff Notes version of my life, he goes, "This all makes sense." And I was like, cool. And then he immediately followed up with, "If you don't change, you're not going any further." And I thought, wow, I got to work another 30 years and I'm going to be stuck at this level. That sounded horrible for me. So I embraced the process of coaching. And since then, I've probably done in excess of 2,500 hours of self-study on personal development and leadership development, and then my formal training for the 2 coaching certifications I hold. So now I'm here to help you not have to listen to 2,500 hours of audiobooks and courses, and help you achieve the goals you want to achieve, even if you thought they weren't possible. So today's topic is focus. And you might be thinking, well, what does focus have to do with personal and professional growth? A lot. It really does. We live in a world where you'll often see job descriptions say, the ability to multitask is required. So let me preface this. I'm very much in the camp of anti-multitasking because it's crap. Yeah. It's humanly impossible to do 2 things at one time. That's not how our brains are built. You can find countless articles and studies that show you're not doing 2 things at one time. You're actually just moving quickly from one to the other. So in essence, you're half-assing it. I'm a recovering multitasker, and I can tell you, when I started to look back at the work I did when I was at the height of my career and I'm multitasking, I was a little embarrassed. Got the TV streaming. There are other people in your house. So we're constantly getting bombarded, either electronically or in reality, with information and requests. It's hard to focus on one thing. I get it. Totally. It takes practice. But once you start to focus and make a commitment that I'm going to do this and finish it, then I'll do the next thing, you will see how much better your results are. I kid you not. And it was funny, as I prepared for this today, I thought about, I bet you everyone who's a parent watching this can recall at least one example when they had a toddler where they spilled something. They knocked over the glass of milk, the juice. They weren't paying attention and walked into something. And you uttered the words to your child. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. See what happens when you don't? Or you quickly screamed as you grabbed the paper towels. This is what happens when you don't pay attention. So it's good advice for a toddler. But we forget it when we're adults. Because when we're not paying attention, maybe it's that we don't knock over the juice or walk into the counter. But have you sent an email? that wasn't done? Did you start a response to something? Somebody was looking for 3 questions or 3 things. You were 2/3 of the way through it. A text, an instant message. Somebody walked up to you. You took care of that. You went back thinking, oh, I'm done. Hit send. Moved on. To either get a response back from that person saying, wait, what about the 3rd thing or these 2 things? Or after you hit send, you're like, oh, I wasn't done with that. Quick recall. And because they're watching their devices constantly, recall failed. They saw it. Yeah, I've done that. Again, at the peak of my career, I'd be in meetings from 9 a.m. till 5 o'clock, which sounds really impressive. But they didn't leave time to respond to email, to read the material for the next meeting, to prepare the material I had to present in a meeting, to support my team. So now I'm trying to do that while I'm sitting in a meeting. So I'm kind of not paying attention. So I'm only half doing what I need to do there. And I still vividly remember years ago, I would often get to the end of the day and I'd have all these half completed emails and instant message. And one day I either got distracted or bored in the meeting I was in. And I looked down and I saw, oh, I've got all these things half sent. Let me start clearing these out. Well, guess what? I sent an instant message to the person projecting in the conference room I was in. My face flashed on the screen as the message hit their machine. Because that's how our system was set up. So now everybody in the room knows I'm not paying attention. I'm embarrassed. Praying I hadn't said something in that message that I didn't want every one of my colleagues to see. And now I've disrupted the flow of the meeting as well. That was a good use of time. No. We do it all the time. Think about it. Have you been in the car? You're driving. You've got your adolescent telling you about their day. You're responding to text messages or email using voice dial, so you're safe, sort of. Whose attention? Who's getting your attention? Not to mention, what example are you setting for your child? And what message are you telling them about how important they are at that moment? When we're focused, we give our best. It's tough, but practice. If you practice any type of yoga or balance fitness, the instructor will always tell you when you're trying to balance on one foot. Focus your eyes on a single point. It's not just about your eyes. It's about your mind. Because if you're not focusing on what you're doing, balancing, you wobble. If your mind starts to think about, okay, after this, I got to do laundry, I got to make dinner, I got to write that report, I got to respond to that email, I got to get to karate practice or what, PTA, whatever, you start to wobble, right? You're not focused on that present moment, on that doing. So how are you ever going to achieve your goals if you're not really focused on them? So you can tell me, but Virginia, I don't have time. If I'm not doing these 2 things at the same time, I'm not going to get in. I have to be reading my email while I'm on the treadmill. Okay. Which are you really focused on? How good is your response going to be? How good is your workout going to be? Yeah, maybe it's better than nothing. But is it going to get you to the weight goal, the fitness goal you want? It won't. I can tell you that. I work out with a heart rate monitor. And when I'm on the elliptical and I start to think about, oh, I have to do Facebook Live. Oh, I have to follow up with this person. Oh, I've got to do this for CCD. My heart rate drops. That means I'm not being as effective. Oh, let me say that again. When I'm not focused, I'm not being as effective. So if you're feeling like you can't get to those goals, think about, are you focused on the work for that goal while you're doing the work. You will find if you focus on one task and finish it, the quality will be better. You won't have to rework it. You won't have to send another email. You won't have to respond again. You will get to your fitness goals faster. You will have more time because you're working smarter. So, to my HR friends who are letting people write the ability to multitask is required in a job description, please stop. Stop. Because you're not caring about your employees. You're telling them, listen, we're going to jam you up and put so much on your plate and expect you to do multiple things at one time that you're probably going to develop dementia early and you're going to half-ass your work. And then we're going to hold you accountable. This is why I don't work in HR. But it takes practice. So if you don't know how to stop and focus, I'm here to help. Because I get it. It is tough in the world we live in, but it can be done. And you'll have great results once you build that habit. Trust me. It just takes the effort. It amazed me when I realized, when I sit down and I do this completely, wow, I didn't have to resend. I didn't have to recall. I got it done the first time. Easy peasy. Move on. Do the next thing. Because if you keep doing it too long, it really will have an effect on your well-being too. I talked about what my days used to be like. And I remember sitting down at my desk one day going, I actually have some time to do some work. Great. And I had this laundry list of stuff. And I started over here. And then I was over here. And I literally could feel my brain bouncing back and forth. And it was scary. And you know what? I didn't get shit done. Because I couldn't focus on anything. I'd start this and then be like, oh, I felt like the dogs in that animated movie. Squall! So yeah. Take the time. Turn off the notifications when you need to think and focus. When your child is talking to you, either stop what you're doing and give them your full attention or tell them, let me finish this and then you'll have my full attention. Can you give me 3 minutes? And then they know. And that experience will be so much better. You'll know what's going on with them. And you'll be teaching them to focus when they're having a conversation. It's not just about how you're managing things. It's about the examples you're setting and the message you're sending. So take the time, focus. I know it's tough. I'm here to help. So, with that, if you'd like more information and help on how to focus so that you can be more effective and more efficient and be setting a better example for those around you, reach out, drop me a comment on here, on LinkedIn. Check out my website and reach out. It's virginiawalton.com. My contact information is there. I want to hear what's going on, and I'm here to help you focus and achieve your goals. With that, be well.